Straight ahead on CCX News, now that it's open, what are people saying about it? We'll give you a tour of the new Brookview Community Center. Plus, cops and kids step foot on U.S. Bank Stadium turf. This competition was much more than just a game. And later, a new place in Plymouth that has the meats. What sets this sandwich shop apart? CCX News starts right now. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. Golden Valley residents now have a new community gathering space to enjoy.
The new Brookview Community Center opened earlier this month, replacing a building that dated back to the 1920s. As Delane Cleveland reports, it's a place that people of all ages can enjoy.
The old Brookview served this community for many, many years. It just got really tired.
For nearly 100 years, the old Brookview served as a community center that was originally built with a different intent.
And it was, of course, built way back in the 1920s, probably early 20s, and it was designed to be a private club.
Now, after $18 million and a year's worth of construction, Golden Valley's old private club has been transformed into a new Brookview Community Center that's simply golden.
But we hope this is a place for what we call celebrations, recreations, and relaxation, that all three of those things take place here.
And there's no reason why they shouldn't. The new Brookview has plenty of office space, various sculptures and other pieces of art designed by local artists, a banquet hall for events and other gatherings, and a brand new bar and grill called the 316.
We are now a sit-down bar and restaurant. We have a full bar service as well as a full menu, a little bit amped up from what we used to offer, and with servers, bartenders, and anything to meet your needs.
The new restaurant isn't the only major addition. The new Brookview also has an indoor playground area to keep children entertained.
It looks amazing.
Lindsay Shevland of Maple Grove brought her 3 kids out to the playground today.
It's great. It's a nice age. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and they can get to the top no problem. They can do it all themselves, and then a 9-month-old who can play in the smaller area.
It's a building that's come a long way since its days as a private club.
It's a lovely building, and we're hoping Golden Valley's proud of it.
In Golden Valley, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
There is still a third phase of Brookview that needs to be completed in the spring, and that includes outdoor landscaping, a new lawn bowling green, and asphalt work.
Plymouth city officials are taking a look at licensing its hotels, and that tops our look inside City Hall. Plymouth's public safety director says over the past several years, the city has spent a considerable amount of time and resources responding to police calls at hotels. They've tried tactics to improve connections with the businesses, but in some locations, the calls for service have gone up. And now discussion with the City Council this week will see whether there is interest in licensing hotels to ensure that they're putting measures in place to improve safety and discourage criminal activity. It would be based on a similar requirement recently put in place in Brooklyn Center. The top suburb for new home building may get busier. The Plymouth Council this week will consider a new development called Greenway West, located just west of Troy Lane. The plan is to build 78 new single-family homes on the 40-acre site. Under the current rules, the developer could build only 29 homes on the property. The council is being asked to consider a zoning change that would allow more density. According to the Builders Association of the Twin Cities, Plymouth ranks second in number of permits issued since the beginning of the year. The Minnesota Vikings were on the road this week in Carolina, but there were games at U.S. Bank Stadium anyway.
Yeah, that's right. On Saturday night, kids and police officers played some flag football. As Eric Nelson found out, many of them were from Brooklyn Park.
We're down on the field where the Minnesota Vikings play. It's exciting. We got to go through their locker room so the kids got to see where the Vikings actually get dressed before a game.
In the same venue where Super Bowl 52 will be played.
Yeah, Super Bowl.
In the same Purple Palace that is home to the Minnesota Vikings, cops and kids were playing flag football.
I'm really excited because I've never been in a football stadium before. Like an NFL football stadium before.
15 of these at-risk youngsters and 15 of the police officers were from Brooklyn Park.
Oh, there's no question it has an impact.
The games were a chance to break down barriers and stereotypes. Positive interaction between kids and cops can be valuable.
We know these relationships help, and the more that we have them, the more trust that we build, it makes a better environment for all of us on the street in the city of Brooklyn Park.
Because it brings the good in the police instead of always seeing the bad. And it makes kids want to be like police officers more.
Creating these bonding sessions between youngsters and officers has been a focus of Brooklyn Park Police since 2007.
There's much more to this event than throwing touchdown passes or making highlight-type plays. The real key here is that the youth of Brooklyn Park are building a bridge with the police department.
Absolutely, this is about building bridges. This is about, again, our youth being able to learn what officers do on their day-to-day, and for officers to also know what our teenagers do in Brooklyn Park.
All the stuff that's been happening on the news and stuff, so it's like now we get to get together and just play a game.
The kids and cops had plenty of fun in a competitive setting. They also got to know each other better.
Anytime you can get face to face and really get to know somebody, know somebody's name, know this person has a family on both sides, can help the situation.
It's not all negative. This opportunity gives our teens of Brooklyn Park an opportunity to meet Brooklyn Park officers, to build some relationships, to build a better rapport.
In Minneapolis, I'm Eric Nelson, CCX News.
And the group of kids were from the Zanewood Recreation Center in Brooklyn Park.
A Brooklyn Park man has collected so many toys the Marines will have to come to his house to pick them up for Toys for Tots. It's a family tradition that fills the living room of Realtor Jerry Moskowitz. For more than 30 years, he and his family have held a toy collection party every December. And people from work, family, and friends by the dozens come from all over to drop off new toys. Moskowitz says the Marines are often shocked when they see the size of the collection. And he says that says a lot about the good in people.
People are good. Bad news makes more headlines, but people believe in giving back and helping others that aren't as fortunate as they are. This party is proof of it every single year.
Moskowitz says the collection adds up this year to 556 toys and about $800, all headed to Toys for Tots. Wow. Still ahead, a popular sandwich shop opens a second location in Plymouth.
Plus, highlights from Osseo boxer Caleb Truax's big championship fight win in England. That's later in sports.
But first, turning colder on Tuesday, highs only in the 20s. One of Plymouth's newest restaurants may be familiar if you work downtown.
In this week's Business Matters, 10 years after opening Bewitched Deli in Minneapolis, there is a West Metro edition. When Mike Ryan opened Bewitched Deli near downtown Minneapolis in 2007, his idea was an upscale, chef-driven sandwich shop with a populist approach.
My favorite part of the day is, just a four-top of guys in $1,000 suits next to a four-top of guys in road repair clothes. I love that, and everybody's eating the same, the same food and the same sandwiches.
Bewitched has become known for its sandwiches, soups, and salads with a twist on the classics. Forget tuna salad, it's tuna confit here.
It's a sushi-grade tuna that we cure in olive oil and herbs and slowly poach it.
Sandwiches range from $9 to $15, and now Mike Ryan is bringing his chef-driven brand to Plymouth, with a second Bewitched location open in the Jet 55 Corporate Center along Highway 55 near 494.
I'm excited to ramp up some more and get some more orders in and really show what this place has to offer.
Plymouth manager Caitlin Nebben put together one of the store's best sellers for us, the smoked turkey on ciabatta.
We've got some goat cheese, herbed goat cheese.
It's complete with goat cheese, medjool dates, and dressed greens.
The greens on the turkey sandwich happens to get a little spritz of a bacon vinaigrette.
The new Plymouth location is twice the size of its Minneapolis location, which will accommodate its growing catering business.
We really like Plymouth. It's the fourth biggest economy in the whole state. The medical sector has a very strong showing. We do a lot downtown with the corporate America and the Central Business District already, and I think that there's a huge opportunity to grow in that field out here as well.
Mike Ryan is proud of his product, and now he has a whole new audience. The Plymouth location does breakfast and lunch in Plymouth Monday through Friday. Still ahead, a cross-country tour brings holiday cheer to New Hope.
But first, it was wall-to-wall basketball. Highlights from the Breakdown Sports Tipoff Classic. John Jacobson is in next.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. It's a Cinderella story akin to the movie Rocky. Osseo native Caleb Truax got a late start on the sport of boxing before working his way up to the top 10 professional rankings. Truax got a second shot at a world title in London on Saturday. Truax considered a big underdog against champion James DeGale in their IBF super middleweight title fight. After a solid start, the fifth round, electric for Truax, backing DeGale into the corner with a hard right and a couple of wicked uppercuts that stagger the champion and turn the tide of the fight. Same round, and in another corner, Truax landing a sharp right, and he takes control of the fight in the middle rounds. While none matched the fifth round from major shots landed, he continues to win rounds by pinning DeGale to the corners. And when 12 rounds are complete, Caleb Truax hears the words he's dreamed of: new world champion. He wins by majority decision to claim the belt. Congratulations to him. Some of the state's top senior football players from this fall stepped onto the field at U.S. Bank Stadium for the Minnesota Showcase All-Star Game. 7 players from the Northwest Suburbs suiting up for the North team. One of them, Phoenix Sproles of Cooper, who carries it on the jet sweep and gains 8 yards on the first play of the game. Scoreless in the second quarter in the South with some trickery. Trey Lance laterals to Jalen Newton, and he throws downfield to Noah Budak of Owatonna for the touchdown. The South leads 7-0 at halftime. Second half, Osseo defensive end Anthony Williams gets pressure on the quarterback, forcing an errant throw. Later in the third, it's Lance hitting Newton for the touchdown, and the South goes ahead 14-0. The North team battles back. Otis Way of Moorhead makes a couple of nice cuts, breaks a tackle or two, and he gets in for the score to make it 14-7. They later tie it at 14-all. But the South goes back in front for good. Zach Meyer of Grand Meadow plunges in to make it 21-14. The South adds another TD on the last play of the game to make it 28-14 final. We have some top-level boys basketball teams in our area once again this year. Park Center was one of the teams playing at the Breakdown Sports Tipoff Classic, and they were matched up against Minnehaha Academy and Jalen Suggs, one of the nation's top recruits from the class of 2020. Great start, though, for the Pirates. Harry Broadway finishes on the fast break. His layup gives Park Center a 9-0 lead. Jarius Cook with some early threes for the Pirates. This one puts them up 14-1. But the Red Hawks slowly chip away at the lead. Lorenzo Smith passing to Giovanni Bickham for the lay-in. And it's an 8-point game. And Suggs goes to work. He hits on the step-back jumper on his way to a 25-point game. So it's the Pirates with the lead at halftime. Early second half, Datavius Frierson misses, but Levante Parker throws down the rebound dunk for the Pirates, and they lead by 12. The Red Hawks, the #1 team in Class 2A, rally again. Suggs scores. Minnehaha down just a point. And then later, he'll draw a double team and dishes it off to Caden Johnson for 2. Pirates fall 61-55 to Minnehaha. Also at the breakdown, Hopkins meeting De La Salle, and the Islanders come out firing. Terrell Terry with a three-pointer puts De La Salle ahead 12-11. Later, it's Jamison Battle with a 3. And De La Salle, the 6th-time defending 3A champion, hits 9 3-pointers in the first half. Second half, and it's Battle with another 3. Islanders are up 12 with just over 12 minutes to go in the game. But Hopkins makes a great comeback. Kerwin Walton with a 3 for the Royals to get them within 5 points. Walton had 19 in the game. Zeke Najee, an offensive rebound. He scores 2 for Hopkins as they go ahead late. And the Royals convert on their free throws, too, including this one from Blaze Beauchamp. Hopkins stages a second-half rally. They knock off De La Salle, 84-79. In other games at the breakdown, Osseo wins big in its season opener, beating St. Thomas Academy 91-77. Emmett Page with 34 points. Zach Tyson was 27 in the win. Wayzata wins, beating Woodbury 88-64. Jacob Benega with 28 for the Trojans. Champlain Park lost to Minnetonka 70-56. Armstrong won a low-scoring game 38-30 against New Prague. Breck lost 82-75 against Perham. David Roddy with 37 in the loss for the Mustangs. And Trentino Grace lost 72-53 to Austin. That's all for sports. Mike and Alex, back to you.
All right, John, thank you. Still ahead, the train that lit up the night in New Hope.
We will hop on board when we come back. And finally, in case you missed it, Santa chose to take the train over his sleigh on Saturday.
A Santa hitched a ride with the Canadian Pacific Holiday Train, which made stops in New Hope and Golden Valley on Saturday. New Hope city officials estimated as many as 3,000 people showed up near the New Hope Ice Arena stop. One reason for the larger turnout was the weather. Of course, Santa, the music, and thousands of LED lights on the train put everyone in a good holiday mood.
I really enjoyed it. I think that it's a really good way to bring in the community together and really support each other throughout this winter season.
It's free for the people that want to enjoy it. And what a crowd that was here today. It was just amazing.
Remember that the kids enjoy it. That's the biggest thing.
The annual holiday train tour raises money for local food banks, and Canadian Pacific donated $4,500 to the New Hope nonprofit, the Food Group, and Hy-Vee also donated 1,500 pounds of food. Look at that. Wow. That is amazing.
What a crowd.
Yeah, he said it right. That was quite a crowd.
What a crowd.
That'll do it. That's it for now. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone.